Have you ever caught yourself reaching for the wall when you stand up, or maybe holding on to the banister a little tighter than you used to? You're not alone, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. I've talked to so many people who tell me they feel like their legs just aren't as dependable as they once were. One woman shared with me that she used to dance around her kitchen while cooking, and now she finds herself being extra careful just walking across the room. Does that sound familiar? Here's what I want you to know. This doesn't have to be your new normal. Your legs can feel stronger, steadier, and more confident again. And sometimes the answer isn't about doing more exercise or buying expensive equipment. Sometimes it's as simple as giving your body the right nutrients it's been quietly asking for. Today, I want to share something with you that might surprise you. There are 3 specific vitamins that can make a real difference in how strong and stable your legs feel. These aren't magic pills or miracle cures, but they're nutrients that your muscles and bones desperately need, especially after 60. And here's the thing, many of us aren't getting enough of them, not because we're not trying, but because our bodies process things differently as we age. Think about it this way. Your legs carry you through every single day. They've been your faithful companions through decades of walking, climbing stairs, playing with grandchildren, and living your life. They deserve some extra support, don't you think? And when they're stronger, you're not just protecting yourself from falls, you're protecting your independence, your confidence, and your ability to keep doing the things you love. I've seen people transform how they feel about their own stability by understanding these 3 vitamins. One gentleman told me that after a few months of paying attention to what I'm about to share with you, he went from feeling unsteady on his feet to confidently walking his dog around the neighborhood again. Another woman said she stopped worrying about falling in the shower because her legs felt so much more secure.
Let's start with something that might surprise you: vitamin D. Now, I know you've probably heard about vitamin D for bone health, but did you know it's absolutely crucial for your muscle strength too? As we get older, our muscles actually have vitamin D receptors that need to be activated for proper function. Without enough vitamin D, your leg muscles can become weak and uncoordinated, making you feel wobbly or unsteady. Here's what's happening in your body. When you don't have enough vitamin D, your muscles can't contract as effectively. It's like trying to start a car with a weak battery. Everything just feels sluggish and unreliable. Your balance suffers, your reflexes slow down, and suddenly those stairs that never bothered you before start feeling like a challenge. The tricky part is that after 60, your skin doesn't make vitamin D from sunlight as efficiently as it used to. Even if you're spending time outdoors, you might not be getting what you need. And during winter months, or if you live somewhere with limited sunshine, it becomes even more challenging. This is why so many older adults are deficient without even knowing it. But here's the good news. When you get your vitamin D levels where they need to be, you might be amazed at how different your legs feel. People often tell me they notice their balance improving, their legs feeling more solid under them, and that general sense of unsteadiness starting to fade away. It's like giving your muscles the fuel they need to do their job properly.
The second vitamin I want to talk about is one that doesn't get nearly enough attention: vitamin B12. Your nervous system depends on B12 to function properly, and your nervous system is what tells your leg muscles when and how to move. Without enough B12, the signals between your brain and your legs can become fuzzy, like trying to have a phone conversation with bad reception. As we age, our stomachs produce less acid, which makes it harder to absorb B12 from food. This means even if you're eating foods rich in B12, your body might not be getting what it needs. The result? Your legs might feel weak, unsteady, or like they're not quite responding the way you expect them to. Some people describe it as feeling disconnected from their own legs, or like they're walking on pillows. When your B12 levels are optimal, the communication between your brain and your leg muscles becomes crystal clear again. Your coordination improves, your reflexes sharpen, and you start feeling more confident in your movements. It's remarkable how such a simple nutrient can make such a profound difference in how steady and strong you feel. Now, you might be wondering how to know if you're getting enough of these vitamins, and that's exactly what we're going to explore next. There are signs your body gives you, and there are simple ways to make sure you're getting what you need. Your legs have been carrying you faithfully for decades. Let's make sure they have everything they need to keep carrying you confidently into the future.
Your body is incredibly smart, and it's always trying to communicate with you. When it comes to these vitamins we've been talking about, there are gentle signals it sends that you might have been noticing without realizing what they meant. Let me share some of the most common signs that your legs might be asking for more nutritional support. Have you noticed that you feel more tired in your legs than you used to? Maybe after a trip to the grocery store, your legs feel heavy or drained in a way that seems out of proportion to what you actually did. Or perhaps you found yourself needing to sit down more often during activities that never used to bother you. These could be your muscles telling you they need more vitamin D to function at their best. Another thing I hear from people is that they feel less sure-footed, especially in dim lighting or when they first get up in the morning. If you've ever felt like your legs are just a little bit delayed in responding to what your brain is telling them to do, that could be a sign that your B12 levels need attention. One woman described it to me as feeling like she was walking through fog. Everything just felt a little unclear and uncertain. But here's what I find so encouraging about this. Once you start giving your body what it needs, these feelings can begin to improve. It's not about accepting that feeling unsteady is just part of getting older. It's about understanding that your body might simply need better nutrition to support the strength and stability you want to maintain.
Now, let me tell you about the third vitamin that can make a tremendous difference in how your legs feel. And this one might surprise you even more than the others. It's vitamin K2. And I'll bet most people have never heard of it, even though it's absolutely essential for strong, healthy legs. Vitamin K2 works like a traffic director in your body, making sure calcium goes where it's supposed to go, into your bones and teeth, instead of where it shouldn't go, like your arteries or soft tissues. When you don't have enough K2, calcium can start building up in your muscles, making them feel stiff and weak. It's like having a garden where the water isn't reaching the plants that need it most. But here's where it gets really interesting for your leg strength. K2 also helps activate a protein called osteocalcin, which your bones need to stay strong and dense. Weak bones mean your entire leg structure isn't as solid as it should be, and that affects everything from your balance to your confidence when walking. Many of us aren't getting enough K2 because it's found in foods that aren't as common in our diets as they used to be. Things like fermented foods, certain cheeses, and organ meats. Our grandparents might have gotten more K2 naturally, but our modern diets often leave us short of this crucial nutrient.
The beautiful thing about K2 is that when you have enough of it, your bones become more resilient, your muscles work more efficiently, and your overall leg strength improves. People often tell me they feel more grounded, more solid on their feet when their K2 levels are optimal. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds good, but how do I actually make sure I'm getting enough of these vitamins? And that's a wonderful question. The truth is, it's easier than you might think, and you don't need to make dramatic changes to your life. For vitamin D, spending some time in morning sunlight can help, but after 60, most of us need a little extra support. A good quality vitamin D3 supplement taken with a meal that has some fat in it can make a real difference. The fat helps your body absorb it better. Think of having it with your breakfast if you have eggs or avocado, or with dinner if you're having salmon or using olive oil. With B12, the challenge is absorption. So a sublingual tablet, one that dissolves under your tongue, can be more effective than pills you swallow.
Your mouth absorbs B12 really well, bypassing some of the digestive issues that can interfere with absorption as we age. And for K2, you can find it in foods like aged cheeses, sauerkraut, and certain cuts of grass-fed meat. But if those aren't regular parts of your diet, a supplement that combines K2 with D3 can be really helpful, since these vitamins work together beautifully. The key is consistency rather than perfection. Your body responds to steady, regular support much better than sporadic efforts. Think of it like watering a plant. A little bit regularly works so much better than flooding it once in a while and then forgetting about it. One thing I always tell people is to be patient with yourself. These changes don't happen overnight, but they do happen. Most people start noticing subtle improvements in how their legs feel within a few weeks, and the changes continue to build over time. It's like slowly turning up the brightness on a dimmer switch. You might not notice it moment by moment, but looking back, you'll see the difference is remarkable. What I find most beautiful about this approach is that you're not just preventing falls, you're reclaiming confidence in your own body. You're giving yourself the gift of feeling secure and steady, which opens up so many possibilities for staying active and engaged in the life you want to live.
You know what I love most about the people I talk with? It's their willingness to try something new, even when they've been told that feeling unsteady is just part of getting older. That's simply not true. And I hope by now you're feeling a spark of possibility about what these 3 vitamins could mean for your own legs and your own confidence. Let me share something practical with you that can make all the difference in how well this works. When you're starting to pay attention to these vitamins, think about creating what I call a leg strength routine, not an exercise routine, though that's wonderful too, but a simple daily pattern that supports your legs from the inside out. For many people, this looks like taking their vitamin D3 with breakfast, especially if they're having something with healthy fats, like eggs cooked in a little butter or oatmeal with nuts and yogurt. The morning is perfect because D3 can sometimes give you a little energy boost, and you want that during your active hours, not right before bed. Your B12 works beautifully in the afternoon, maybe after lunch when your energy naturally starts to dip. Let that sublingual tablet dissolve under your tongue while you're reading or watching something you enjoy. Think of it as a little midday gift to your nervous system, helping ensure those signals between your brain and legs stay clear and strong. And K2 pairs wonderfully with your evening meal, especially if you're having something with K2 naturally in it, like a piece of aged cheese with dinner, or some sauerkraut alongside your meal. If you're taking a K2 supplement, having it with your largest meal of the day helps with absorption. But here's something equally important. Pay attention to how you feel. Start noticing the small changes. Maybe you realize you're not reaching for the wall when you stand up from your favorite chair. Perhaps you find yourself walking to the mailbox without that little voice in your head worrying about your balance. These aren't dramatic, overnight transformations, but they're real, meaningful changes that can give you back a sense of security in your own body. I remember talking to a woman named Margaret, who started paying attention to these vitamins after she'd had a small stumble in her garden. She wasn't hurt, but it shook her confidence. 3 months later, she told me she was not only back to gardening, but had planted a whole new flower bed because she felt so much more stable on her feet. That's the kind of change that's possible when you give your body what it needs. Another gentleman, Robert, shared that he'd been avoiding his weekly coffee meetup with friends because he was worried about navigating the busy cafe. After focusing on these nutrients for a few weeks, he not only went back to his coffee group, but started arriving early to get his favorite table by the window. It wasn't just about his legs getting stronger, it was about his whole life opening up again.
Here's what I want you to remember. This isn't about chasing perfection or trying to feel exactly like you did when you were 30. It's about feeling confident and secure in the body you have right now. It's about giving yourself the best possible foundation for all the things you still want to do. These 3 vitamins, D3 for muscle strength and coordination, B12 for clear communication between your brain and your legs, and K2 for strong bones and efficient muscle function, they're like a three-legged stool supporting your leg health. Each one is important, but together they create something much more powerful than any single nutrient could provide alone. And please, don't feel like you have to figure this all out overnight. Start with one vitamin if that feels more manageable. Maybe begin with D3, since so many of us are deficient, especially during the darker months. Notice how you feel after a few weeks. Then consider adding B12. Take your time, be gentle with yourself, and trust that small, consistent steps lead to meaningful changes. I'd love to hear about your own experience with this. Have you noticed signs that your legs might need more nutritional support? Are you already taking any of these vitamins and seeing improvements? Sometimes the most encouraging thing we can do is share our stories with each other, because chances are someone else is dealing with the exact same concerns you are.
Your legs have been faithful companions through so many seasons of your life. They've carried you through countless moments of joy, challenges, adventures, and quiet, everyday pleasures. They deserve your attention and care, and more importantly, you deserve to feel confident and steady as you move through your days. Remember, taking care of your leg strength isn't just about preventing falls, though that's certainly important. It's about maintaining your independence, your ability to do the things you love, and your confidence in your own body. It's about giving yourself the best possible chance to keep living fully on your own terms. You're never too old to make today better than yesterday. These small changes in how you support your legs can open up possibilities you might not have even realized you were missing. Let's keep going together.